Hey, out there in YouTube land, this is Matt coming at you from Razzles Rod Shop. Alright, this is going to be a makeshift stand for the phone so we can make this video on how to cut this roof out. It's a clamp and a ladder. Yeah, when you use an iPhone, you got to make do. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to start out by using the small ball end round Dremel bit to cut out the larger portions of the stencil that you want to cut out of the hood. With that being said, since I forgot to add this to the beginning of the video, we'll now jump into the rest of the video. Okay, time to have some fun. We'll see if I can show you how this is going to work. It's going to be a little loud, but you might want to take and clean off anything that might be valuable, because this is a mess. For this, to cut this piece out on here, I'm going to want to put it on a block or put it on something, because once it goes through, if you do it out of the car itself, there's nothing underneath it, it's hollow. So and that's how I cut out the bigger pieces with the smaller round bit. And then you go back, clean those up later. Then you got to go through and change, because I have two different size collets on these. I have to change them out. If you get the smaller bits, they're probably the same. I'm going to just chuck that in there. What I do with this one, with the smaller tip, is these smaller areas, I'll go through and get those with a smaller piece. And you can see how it makes a little bit smaller cut. Of course, the deeper you go, the bigger it's going to get. it's a little bit harder with this thinner styrene. 20 thousandths will probably work a little better. Once you do that, you can always go in with your X-Acto knife and clean up, take off some of the rough edges and trim up what you need to. And then what I did with the teeth, being that they're smaller, instead of using the Dremel, this actually came from a tip I saw on Model Car Magazine online forum. A guy was doing door handles and molded in door handles on the body, and what he would do is drill little holes and then clean out with the X-Acto blade, so then you have the opening behind the door handle. So this is essentially where I got that idea. Where you would take the drill bit and just drill a succession of smaller holes. And then I would go through with the X-Acto knife and trim them out. So you would end up with that, and then as you get smaller, change the drill bit to a smaller size. This one's actually for plug wires. It's a little bit too small, I think. But the idea is getting there in these smaller teeth, same thing. Drill them through. Oh, I guess tips broke off. And then just go through and clean up. With the thinner styrene, you can actually cut down to the smaller size fairly easily. Shoot, good thing this is an example. And then get your holes, your teeth or shape. And then essentially, just to clean up like the round spots, I would take the round file and just run the round file in, clean them up and give actually shows up better. And then you just keep working with it until it gets nice and smooth. And then your sandpaper, these are a little bit bigger pieces, but once you clean off what you need cleaned and trimmed, and I tried to stay inside the pattern so you have some to trim with. And that way when you go in and you sand, you've got some material there that you can play with and take off. Now on this, like any stencil, you know, the actual stencil, if you were to paint it, this wouldn't be attached, it'd go through there, but I left, on the car, I left these pieces attached so to have some stability. So any stencil you might have to do that with, but that's something you have to look at depending on each one. And that's how I did it. That's all there is to it. It takes time. It makes a mess. The payoff is definitely worth it. If I come up with something else, I'd probably do it again in a heartbeat. So that's it. I believe it was Rusty McBride made a comment. It's basically like carving a small pumpkin, and that's exactly what it is. You're just carving a small pumpkin, only you're carving it out of styrene. But that's all there is to it. Hope this helps you out. Glad I could do it. Glad I could help you out and share the information. Got a makeshift holder from my iPhone, so Benny Mac wanted to see it cut out, so Benny Mac Attack, we got it cut out. That's how you do it. Just time consuming. I actually enjoyed doing it. I came home from work one day, cut it out that evening, and of course it takes about 2-3 days to clean it up and get the finished work, but yeah, it took I'd say probably about 3 hours to cut it out. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Everybody have a good day. Hope the weather's good everywhere. It's raining off and on here the last 2 days, but it's in the 50s, so I'll take that over snow. Thanks for watching. Everybody have a good one.